welcome to the first ever Dollar Club Wrestling podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Panetta, at Panetta Sexy Time. This is my good friend, longtime friend, Jim Prendergast. Let me give you a little bit of our history first, too. Jimmy P. Already being the heel. So we used to be in a wrestling federation back when we were after high school in 98-ish. And he was the guy that I could never beat. He was the champion. He was Rock Hard Jim Prendergast, and I'm the Razor. And you're actually going to get a treat at the end of the show. We're going to post promos by each of us. The Razor's not out of retirement yet, but Caveman Kev's going to come for the championship. So at the end of the show, we're going to post 2 promos and hit like, and whoever had the most likes is going to be the new champion for the next month. Our goal here is we're going to at least do one podcast a month, all on different topics. Whatever suits us, whatever we feel like talking about.
Like Kev said, I'm Jimmy P. We've been wrestling fans. We used to, back in the Attitude Era. Well, I was even a fan before then with Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, all that. But became a real big fan, Attitude Era. Some ruthless aggression. So this show, basically, we want to try to do something different. Kev's very knowledgeable on today's product. I'm not. WWE. I just started getting into AEW a little bit. Do not watch NXT. It's crap.
I like NXT.
Crap.
I like gimmicks.
They have to get me. You have to show me something make me interested to watch promo.
Steiner's son's there. He's awesome. Braun Breaker, brand new. You'll love him.
Yeah, I heard about him, so maybe I'll check that out.
Oh, real quick though, who was the first wrestler when you were a kid that got you into wrestling at all? When you were
Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant.
Nice.
Every Saturday morning I would be on.
The first match I ever saw, I remember it was on in my mom's room when I was a little kid. It was a Saturday night main event. It was Tito Santana against Mr. Perfect. And I was cheering, I'm like, come on, Tito, because it was the underdog guy. And my mom's like, his name's Mr. Perfect. There's no chance of winning. I'm like, no, he's going to win. Tito's going to win. And of course, Mr. Perfect won.
I think actually one of the first matches I remember seeing is a tag match. There was a tag team, I think their name was the Bumblebees.
Yeah, they were a team, Jumpin' Jim, Giselle, and the...
yeah, they wore black and yellow tights.
Yeah, I forget the other ones I ever saw. But
with Tito Santana, the first, what was the tag team he was in?
With Strike Force?
I think it was
Martel?
Or was he...
Before he was the model?
Before, maybe it was the Strike Force. Yeah, that's one of the first matches I remember seeing over at family member's house or something like that.
Like you, though, the first time I actually got into wrestling was WrestleMania 3. I saw that at my grandparents' house, the Hogan slamming Andre.
Well, actually, which I guess was it 2, King Kong Bundy cage match? That was there, and then I really got into it after 3 with especially... Hulk Hogan, big thing, but still to me, the greatest match ever was in that WrestleMania. Savage and...
Favorite match of all time is Bret Hart versus Stone Cold, the double turn. That's up in the top 5, definitely. Yeah. But I watched wrestling then, but I was a little more than casual. I didn't fall in love with wrestling until Razor Ramon said hello to the bad guy. That's when I fell in love with wrestling. He was the best.
Right that time, I probably, I did see Razor. I wasn't as into it then. And that's kind of when it started going bad.
Maybe that's why I like NXT so much. I love gimmicks. I love Tatanka. I love Crush. I love Doink, Bam Bam Bigelow.
I don't mind some
IRS.
gimmicks, but some, it gets stale after a while. I like the Attitude Era, for me, the stories. Not even the raunch stuff. And you can leave that out. It's not... I don't need that anymore. The storytelling.
I like the raunch. I'm the Dollar King here. I like the raunch.
I don't mind it, but it's not a, break. I'm not going to watch if they don't have it. But just the storytelling that they used to do. The whole Raw, there was a story, a theme throughout the whole show. Now, you watch Raw, I fast forward through most of it. You see the beginning, you want to see the beginning. All right, what's the main event? Who's going to come out and talk? And then you say now, RK Bro or Lashley.
Drew McIntyre was cool for a minute.
Yeah, he was good. But the mid card, and I mean it's just they don't do enough.
So much
writers
talent too. So much talent.
I think there's a lot of guys who are good promo, who have good wrestling. They just don't give them stuff to work with. I don't think they don't write them a good story.
Dolph Ziggler would be like a 6-time AEW World Champion if they were.
And he's like
He's
the
mean.
Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah, well,
Equivalent to the Brooklyn Brawler right now.
His tag team, he doesn't even lose all the time, but I'm so like used to seeing him lose.
Yeah.
What's this? Like a fake
It's
push
crazy.
again?
And then something like sometimes they push people that I don't understand why they're like they push so hard, even though like for instance, I like Big E. I think he's good, but I do not think can carry the show.
No.
He's not the champ, you know.
He's a upper mid card.
He's upper mid card guy. He's good with the New Day together. They're good. You know, they're a good tag team, but I don't think his character. I mean, he may be able to do it if he finds a different character or creates something.
What is his character? Exactly.
He's goofy, big guy, kind of, I guess, right?
Kofi was the goofy small guy, and I think Kofi actually had a better championship run than Big E.
Yeah, and
Big E looks more the part.
Xavier Woods is like the gamer guy, whatever, you know.
I like the New Day too. I agree that Big E, as of now, wasn't ready for the world title. I was happy for him though. I like him.
Yeah, I was happy guy, but I just feel like they try to push people. If another instance is Bianca Belair. I think she's very impressive athletically. Promos, maybe a few, you know, she needs to work on that. I don't think she was ready to be the champ, the one you put your show on. I mean, do you think she's better than Sasha Banks?
No, I think Bailey. I think's the best woman. Bailey and Charlotte, I think, are better than
Where is
Sasha
Bailey?
too. She's hurt. She'll be back soon.
Oh, okay.
I love Bailey. I think she's an amazing worker.
I mean, last night watching Raw, the difference between Becky and Liv and Bianca doing promos. I mean, Becky's clearly, and maybe she's been doing it.
That was one of Bianca's better promos too, to be honest.
Yeah,
too.
it wasn't bad, but Becky kind of like Roman Reigns when he first, you know, came out of the Shield and was by himself. He wasn't a great promo.
Oh, it was terrible.
Now he's ridiculous.
Yeah, when they let people have shades of themselves, it's always better, I think. If they're a personable
exactly.
person.
Like they let them come up with their character, let them be themselves, or
be
creative.
I'm loving Redneck Brock as a good guy. He's
not the best promo, but he's funny.
Yeah, it's him. It works. And he's a legitimate badass. I'm loving it right now.
But then, like guys like him, like he's a monster. You don't really need the promo.
Yeah.
But he's funny. You know, he does like one-liners and stuff, which works for him.
But how much more important does the world title feel now that Brock has it over Big E? Like what you were saying.
A lot more. Like people tuned in and be like, all right, Brock. You know. And that match, I mean, I don't. Why are they doing that match at the Royal Rumble? Why isn't that a Mania match?
Maybe they're gonna do the unification world title.
You think?
Or just do Brock versus
Think
Roman.
they're going to put Raw and SmackDown back together?
I think they should at this point, but I would keep the Intercontinental and U.S. belt separate though. That way, we have something different to watch on each show.
Do they even have those belts anymore?
Yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura and
Damian
Priest. Yeah,
I mean he was Dolph Ziggler, but that was kind of a weird.
Yeah, there's no emphasis on the mid card, which there's so much talent in the mid card. Why not?
The Intercontinental title used to be my favorite belt.
I don't know how long ago you came back to it, but like when Dean Ambrose and The Miz, which were feuding over it, felt important again for a minute.
Yeah, it wasn't quite then. But even like when The Miz had it again for a while, you know, he lifted it up. And then because he was showcased. He was out there in the ring doing promos or whatever in storylines. I mean, Shinsuke comes out, does a match.
With Boogs.
Boogs! Plays his guitar, like...
You got Pat McAfee, though.
Yeah, you can pretty much forget who the champ... Like, honestly, they should give it to Sami Zayn. Because I think if he, you know, he would do something with it.
I think when Money in the Bank was a missed case for him, like being the great liberator, then like getting screwed out of the Money in the Bank briefcase, he would have won that. But he had the belt before. He was a good champ.
Yeah, and like he got hurt and
awesome
came
that.
back, and they had the two. That was a good.
Yeah, like
Sure,
they
sure.
have all these mid-carder guys that potentially could even go to AEW one day. These guys should be running and owning the mid-card division. You know, pretend that's your AEW guys, your workers. Have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn like run the mid-card. And Dolph Ziggler and Finn Balor even. They have so much talent.
Yeah, Finn Balor. He's great. He's not a good promo, I don't think.
What are you
But
talking about?
when he first came from NXT, the intriguing thing about him, which they ruined, was what?
The Demon?
The Demon. You're like, he didn't need a good pro, because he had that. Like,
Did you see
the
when he
monster
wrestled
thing.
Roman Reigns and they as the Demon? And he
Like
had the heart attack that pumped him back to life. It was so corny.
Like they ruined it.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean,
Coolest thing. I remember watching NXT and I'm like, man, that's just money. They're gonna make so much money on this guy.
that's what I thought. Like, come up, not overdo it. Like, and as soon as they brought him up, they, let people anticipate, wait for it, till a good story, and then bring it out. You know, when he's.
But they made him lose everything, a big feud every time as himself, and then the Deus Ex Machina would be the Demon. They had to make him like win some big feuds as himself too.
Right.
You know, they can't rely on it as a crutch.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like only bring it out, not a few times a year.
The 4 big pay-per-views. Well, I think 5 big pay-per-views. Money in the Bank, I think, is one of the big 5 now.
Like, you haven't, the last time he was there, they kind of crushed the Demon against Roman. Right? Why would they have?
Yeah, it was.
When they, because anything against Roman right now is just going to get crushed.
He should not lose the belt for a long, long time.
That's something I think we talked. Like, you asked me the question, who's even
just Brock, right?
Like, can challenge him, or who can you see beating Roman for the title? And I thought about it, and I honestly, maybe Brock, but no, because Roman's so much better right now.
Just The Rock, right?
I don't know what I'm assuming they're going to, unless they do what you said, the unification thing, it's going to be him and Drew at Mania, right?
I heard Drew just got hurt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I have to get confirmation how long he's out on that.
They're building towards The Rock something, right?
Yeah, the WrestleMania in
family.
California. So I think, is that not this year's Dallas? I think next year's Cali? Yeah, it's probably next year.
Because, that's, in my opinion, I know we're going to talk about your top 10 of the year, but in my opinion, right now, he's one of the greatest characters that I don't, and like I said, I'm a casual fan right now, but
yeah, I feel he's the only guy like Cena, since Cena, that is kind of a big deal, feels like a star, like he could carry the company, and Brock Lesnar to a certain extent. They're the only two.
But yeah, I'm tuning into SmackDown every week. I'm like, all right. And I love that entrance.
It's so bad.
Besides Stone Cold,
song
that's
too.
like one of my favorite entrances.
Speaking of how they ruin guys too, did you never watch NXT at all?
I watch a little here and there, but I never.
It was amazing when Andrade, Drew McIntyre.
I do know.
But my favorite of all time was Bobby Roode there. When he was the glorious one, he was so good.
I remember he was good.
Yeah, he was probably my favorite wrestler in the last 10 years when he was over there.
And they ruined the guys when they bring him up.
Just another guy now.
Should have just left him in NXT, if you're not going to.
I was going out to bars going, glory, like a douche and stuff. It was
another guy is who I didn't watch Impact much, but
AJ,
no, he's great no matter what. But
yeah.
EC3.
Oh, I love
EC3. I saw a little of him on Impact.
He was perfect for WWE, and then they messed him up.
Like, he needs to go to WWE, and then comes in, and he's running after the 24/7 title. Come on.
Yeah, it's such a shame. He's like perfect. He's tailor-made for the WWE style, too.
And
Same with Killer Cross, too, should be a WWE star.
They didn't even give EC3, it's like, what did he do? Piss somebody off? Or
must
not follow what they want? Like, it's crazy.
Rub somebody the wrong way. Yeah, so they just missed the boat with so many guys, too. Like, thank God they finally got Drew McIntyre kind of right, too. And
Yeah.
Lashley, they finally got Lashley kind of a big deal. Like Orton, Lashley, and Drew are like right below Brock and Roman that are kind of respected booking wise.
What's your thoughts on Riddle?
I love Riddle. Yeah, I want.
I could not stand him at first, but since he's RK Bro, they play off each other real good.
You know he was in the UFC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had a 7-fight win streak, I believe, too. But they had 2 matches overturned because of marijuana, and he got fired on a winning streak.
Yeah, like at first I'm like, this guy, what the hell is this character? But it kind of grows on you.
I want him to throw Orton out of the, not this year's Rumble, it's too soon, they should stay together for a while and win the Rumble like next year and turn heel on Orton. Next year, though. I like him that much. He's awesome. He's a tad too small, though. I wish he was a little bigger. But knowing that he's a legit badass, I know he should tone down his, if he does turn heel, I think he'll turn down the Ashton Kutcher dude, where's my car gimmick a little bit, you know? And
do you think he can turn heel?
Not yet. It's going to be
He's honestly...
He's going to have to be a really...
Besides, like, he does pretty good as a face. What's a good face right now in WWE? Or anywhere that you may know.
Well, Brock's technically a face.
Yeah, but...
technically, Hangman Page is pretty good.
I don't know him.
But they don't book him, right? Even though he is the world champion, as sad as that is.
Oh, and
AEW. Yeah, Hangman Page. Sammy Guevara's doing good right now in AEW. Cody thinks he's a face. I love Cody.
But there's nobody that like Cena. How long was he? Not somebody. I mean, Cena's different, but somebody that has that charisma. Like
closest, like I love Finn Balor. It's not him. He can't talk like that. Drew McIntyre isn't like Cena. Huh?
Like somebody that comes out in the crowd.
Nobody. The crowds are dead.
Like,
it's embarrassing, except for Roman and Brock.
Like when that music hits, I don't see it at all. The whole show, every single person stands up, gets their phones out.
That's the only reason why you can notice they've piped in crowd noise, because the whole crowd's like playing on their phone, and then you hear like the cheering. You know, it's fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like maybe it's not even any of the women too. Like they boo for Charlotte. Charlotte does get booed a lot. She has to tell them to shut up. She's like, "Be quiet. The Queen's speaking right now." So you know when you're over a little bit.
I mean, even Becky was a good face when she was a face.
Yeah, she was superstar status when she was before she got pregnant.
I don't know why she came back as a heel. I guess because of Bianca Belair. I guess they think she's the big face.
Edge is the big face right now.
Yeah,
Edge. Edge.
But I feel like they're using him as like a stepping stone or something. I don't know what they're doing.
I think they wanted him to come back and be world champion. Just Roman is too freaking good right now. I think he was like intended to get the belt right away when he won the Rumble. But I just think they're like, Roman's just on a whole nother level.
Yeah, you can't take the belt from Roman. I mean, you could, but you got to keep him as the top story.
When he loses, I don't think The Rock should even beat him. I think he should beat The Rock. It's got to be the guy who's going to be big. This is your next big star.
His loss needs to be to get somebody like that guy, like when Stone Cold was climbing, and then, you know, WrestleMania, he beats Shawn, even though he was huge before that match, but, you know.
Well, he helped get Mick Foley over, too. He helped a lot of guys when he was champion, you know. And The Rock, he helped The Rock get over. Triple H.
But like Shawn Michaels dropped the belt to him because Stone Cold was ready to.
Oh, yeah, you mean when he got it the first time?
Yeah, the
pass
first
of the torch
with Mike Tyson, right?
Yeah.
Like somebody that's on that ascending.
That's why the belt meant more back in the day. It was first Hogan was the guy, and then like he left to do some shows, but they gave it to worthy guys. Macho Man had the belt. Then Andre was the man, you know, Hogan. Then Ultimate Warrior, they tried to pass the torch, didn't work, so it was back to Hogan. Then you got your Bret Hart, who passed it to Shawn Michaels to Stone Cold. And then you had that going between The Rock, Mankind, Triple H. Yeah. And after that, it kind of got a little muddy with the 2 championship belts, you know, like Edge is cool. Yeah. Cena actually deserved it. Big Show and Kane deserved a couple of. Undertaker, of course, is always a good guy in there. But then when like I love Alberto Del Rio, but they didn't push him right. They didn't push Sheamus right. Daniel Bryan's one push was done right as the world title holder.
that was kind of forced by the fans, though. Too.
That's what wrestling should be. With the fans.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, whoever's if the fans boo you more than you're cheered, whoever gets the bigger crowd response is the guy that should win every match. I believe.
Got a lot of pussy in this couch.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt's another guy they blew with. He could have been the next big thing too.
Started with the Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
Like twice.
All the money in
They
him.
blew it twice with him.
2 different gimmicks, and he got over on both.
Twice.
Yeah.
And the Fiend one was way over.
He's still selling merch.
I don't know what's going on there, but
I heard.
Why in the world would you have him lose to Goldberg?
Yeah, that's when he killed it too. He was doing
And
such.
he built it back up after, but
when he lost it on the first time, when he lost to Orton, I love Orton. I'm wearing a shirt of Orton. I love Orton too. When he dropped the title to Orton, it was idiotic. He killed his push.
they should have had him be like the Undertaker for the first.
Yep.
Where the Undertaker was indestructible.
How they had Kane, Undertaker, and Mankind, they could have had Aleister Black, Bray Wyatt, and Finn Balor for the next 20 years, being these kind of characters and keep the tradition going. Just like Rey Mysterio's, he's one of the good faces right now.
Yeah.
Him and Jeff Hardy, they shouldn't be jobbing. Treat them like superstars.
When's that going to happen? When's Dominic going to turn on him?
It's got to be a WrestleMania
Can Dominic
thing,
be
right?
a heel?
I
mean, they're not going to have Ray turn on Dominic. It's going to have to be Dominic on Ray, right?
If Dominic turns heel, it'd have to be he'd become friends with Vince always plays all nationalities stick together.
Yeah.
So you'd have to fall in line with the Los Lotharios, Angel Garza and stuff, and they're something with that. If Legado in NXT, there's a really awesome Hispanic gang, Latino gang, excuse me, Legado del Fantasma. If they came up and he started working for them, and they attacked Ray, that'd be a good storyline too. But I couldn't see Dominic turning heel on his own either. He'd have to be a really good actor.
I mean, they've been teasing it for a while now. I've thought a few times he's going to.
No one way would work, even though he'd have to fall in line with Seth Rollins.
That's what I mean, something like that,
Yeah.
or they get him to turn and take him under their wing, and
yeah, it wouldn't be him just turning on his dad. Somebody had it wasn't Sami Zayn was trying to get him. Remember?
Yeah.
For a minute too. That would have been the time.
That's when I thought maybe one of the times it would happen, but.
And maybe they're the last 4 guys in the Rumble. Whoever's gonna win it, somebody else, him and his dad, and his dad eliminates Sam or he eliminates his dad. That starts the feud again or something. I want to ask you about 2 of my favorite guys, current guys. Obviously Randy Orton and Seth Rollins are 2 of my favorites.
Seth is I love Seth right now. I think he's probably at his best right now as far as character-wise, like that.
You want to hear me piss the internet off? I call Seth Rollins the WWE's Kenny Omega.
You think? I think
he's better. Kenny had a better year. I'll tell you about my rankings later.
Do you think he's a good promo?
I love Seth's promo.
Not Seth. He's great. Kenny.
Nah, Kenny's not the best promo, but
he
he's
needs somebody with him, right?
He doesn't need somebody with him, but if he wants to be thought of as big as Roman Reigns, which the internet thinks he is.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he won PWI Pro Wrestling Illustrated Wrestling.
Is that just because he's big from New Japan? He has that.
Well, he was the belt collector, and he had all the belts too, so that made him look bigger too. He had TNA's belt, he had a New Japan belt, a AAA belt from Mexico.
Just because of his cult following, I guess you would say.
Yeah, but he deserves. He's mine. But he's awesome. Don't get me wrong. But he's not on the same level, star-wise, entertainment-wise, as Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar. In my opinion, Seth Rollins.
That's the one thing too. I feel, and tell me if I'm wrong. The fan today is more interested in the moves, the high flying and stuff like that. Whereas me, where I come, like I said earlier, I like the stories.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, and I think I know why. Honestly, the people coming up now were trained by the video games. When I watch the booking too, rematch, it's how you would book a story in universe mode in WWE 2K games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. That's how they and now too. When you're playing on your phone, you'll look up and you see a big move. That's why AEW has big move, high spot. It makes
like,
you watch it more.
Like, I'll go big moves, fine, but if there's no story to it, like, it's not. I'm sorry if this offends anyone, but wrestling isn't real.
Whoa,
It's
kayfabe, brother, kayfabe. I am a caveman this month.
I mean, it's
Next month
I'm
I'll do
not.
something
The
else.
guys are very athletic and they're good athletes and all that, but it's predetermined. It's not real if you don't have the story in with it, and you're just we're watching the circus.
I had more fun writing the stories than doing the psychology when we used to wrestle too. And then,
Like that's even like have the moves, but like how the matches used to go. You know, there's a whole psychology. You hear old guys talk about it all the time. How the match goes, back and forth. It's maybe corny, but it was always, as a kid, the test of strength. I mean, you're watching it like, oh yeah, Hulk Hogan, oh he's coming back. Yeah, it's like the story, like he's down, he's coming back.
yeah.
But
This is one of my top 3 matches of all time: Hulk Hogan versus The Rock. Hogan's not the best worker, but that crowd and that storytelling in that match is phenomenal.
He's like, his finishing moves is freaking leg drop. I mean, can you think of a worse finishing move?
But he does it at the perfect time, Jim. You know that. GP.
From a top guy, like
You
I'm
know
thinking.
that.
I'm trying to think.
Kid, I love it now. Macho Man's elbow drop.
Well, he's jumping from the top rope at
Yeah,
least.
but like not many people.
But if they were like real maneuvers, they would.
Oh, that would
put you
kill.
out.
Undertaker's
Yeah,
tombstone would kill anybody in one time.
paralyze you.
6'10" guy doing it.
Paralyze you. Like, I don't know. I just think you don't need all that stuff if you have the stories, to me. But I
Yeah.
guess it's whatever floats your boat.
My biggest. I prefer Dynamite's my favorite wrestling show right now, but every match is 20 minutes long. They all get the same amount of moves in, so if everybody looks strong, nobody looks strong. There's not as much psychology in it. Besides Bryan Danielson, he's on a whole nother level right now. He's fucking amazing. Minus that 60-minute time limit draw, too predictable. I didn't like it. Him and the Kenny Omega draw, I did like though. That was awesome.
Yeah. See, like
I'm trying to get into the new stuff, guys.
some matches I watch, like the 20-minute match, like, all right, fast forward to the end.
And you know who's going to win, too, every time, unless it's a pay-per-view, and then you still probably don't. Like, did you really think Dolph Ziggler is going to be Damian Priest just because there's no disqualifications on a title match? No, come on. I don't care if the match is good.
Yeah, I read something, not that it matters, I don't care, something about Damian Priest and being bi or something.
I don't know if he is, he looks like he might be, but I don't know.
Not that it matters, I just thought I saw something on the internet.
My friend Jimmy T used to say he was gay, but that Damian Priest was bi, so I don't know. I didn't know if he was joking or not that it matters.
Yeah.
I think WWE was dumb not to push Darren Young when being gay, openly gay, like the first guy. That would have been awesome. Like, as long as you do it respectfully and not like do their corny jokes they usually do.
Yeah. I mean,
Could've
if
been
the
a hero.
guy's good, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, instead they have Finn Balor with the rainbow shirt, like just to try to like bait gay people into liking him, you know. And he's not gay; he's like the straightest guy alive. You think it had? I don't think
He's the straightest guy alive.
Look at him; he got abs like that. You gotta be.
If you could have one girl be your manager of all time, who would it be?
All time manager or try to have sex with?
Well, same difference. I'm trying to be a little.
So if I was Ric Flair and I had to pick one girl, all time.
Not Charlotte, right?
No, absolutely not Charlotte.
If you're Ric Flair.
I love the blondes. I like Trish, but she wouldn't be mine. I'd be more of a current girl. Kelly was probably the hottest of all time.
Yeah, now, Sonny.
All right, Sonny's cool. Do you know you can pay pictures?
Because I was at that age.
Yeah.
And
I love Sonny. I love Sonny.
Like, whoa, she's hot. She's hot.
Yeah, I
She
know.
was hot.
I know. I'm like I like Shotzi a lot now. Mandy Rose. I picked Mandy Rose. She was my 2021 dollar queen this year too. Mandy Rose.
Good looking.
She's perfect. Italian girl too. She should go by her real name, Mandy Sachs.
I actually think Becky is. I mean, I think she lost too much weight. I like a little more meat.
Yeah, me too.
But I always thought she was
Paige was hot
pretty.
too.
Paige. She's more like that.
This is my cat Jumanji. Everybody, he gets jealous of the camera.
That crazy girl, like you would think, like she's got to be a little wild, you know.
Oh yeah. She dated Alberto.
And she had a video, right, with
Xavier Woods, Bukkake belt on it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Nice.
Did you watch her movie, Fighting with My Family? The one that
Yes, I did watch that.
Much better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be terrible. I have these nipple clamps I brought for you. I knew you like that stuff.
Yeah.
Is that your gimmick?
Put it on your balls.
Alright, so guys, I did my top 10 list on the page before. I was debating on deleting it because we were going to talk about it anyway, but I think I'm going to keep it up just because it's got a couple likes. So I'm going to go read you guys my top 10 list. We're going to ask the casual fan what he thinks of these 10 guys. And yeah, obviously you guys comment and tell me if I'm an idiot or not. In 10th place, I had, I guess I know what you think, Matt Riddle in 10th place.
Well, I mean, if you're doing for the year, he had a big year. I mean, I guess I'd have to really sit and think about it, but I guess he would be in a top 10, so I won't argue with it. I won't say it's stupid.
9th place, Randy Orton.
Okay.
8th place, MJF. What do you know of MJF? You don't watch AEW?
I know I've been watching some videos, and I like him from what I've seen so far, so.
He's going to be a star. If they get him right and keep him right, he could be like this generation's
He's
Ric
definitely
Flair.
a good promo. I don't know what his moves are like, or what's his finishing move.
He does like an arm bar, like salt of the earth.
That's another thing, guy.
He's all old school, like a
you
worker.
have a good finishing move. All you need is a good promo and a good finishing move.
He usually wins by hitting people in the face with a diamond ring on his hand, cheating. You'll love his manager, Wardlow. He's awesome. You'll like him. 7th place, Hangman Page.
Well, I don't know much about him, but I've seen some stuff with.
About a year ago, he was like a drunk drinking whiskey and like taking beer. Well, I guess right before COVID, taking beer from the crowd and stuff. He was so over. He should have been champ then. He was like up there, like not with up Stone Cold kind of gimmick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he should have been. You would have loved him like I guess probably a year and a half ago now. That's how long COVID was. Then he kind of got dorkier, hanging out with like the Dark Order and
It's a
stuff.
typical face.
Yeah, it just took his edge away. 6th, Darby Allin. You know anything about him?
Darby Allin, he's the guy with Sting, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's pretty much this generation's Jeff Hardy. The ultimate daredevil. He's awesome. I think you'd like him. 5th place, for me right now, he would be possibly 1st place this year, but we're in a new year. Bryan Danielson.
Oh, I know. Bryan Danielson. I saw some of his stuff on AEW. He's Daniel Bryan.
It's on a new level right now. He's on a whole nother level.
He's definitely better now than WWE was allowing him to be.
3rd and 4th place, I debated between when I did this list, but I ended up putting Drew 4 and Lashley 3. I looked at the stats for the year actually, and Drew had a much better win percentage, but Lashley ended up beating Drew a ton at the end, and he just had an awesome run with the belt. I think a much better run than Drew ended up having. What do you think about those two?
Yeah, I don't really care much about, their wins-loss records. I know sometimes they mean something, but...
Well, I only looked at it because I couldn't decide between the two. It
no.
just matters about how you're presented to me.
Right. And I think this year, definitely Lashley would be ahead of Drew. If we were going last year, Drew would probably number 1 or 2 last year.
When the world was shut down.
2020.
2nd place, PWI and Pro Wrestling Illustrated Top 500. You got it wrong. Kenny Omega's number 2. You haven't seen much of him too. He's I love Jim Cornette. I'm sorry, Jim Cornette. Kenny's pretty good in the ring. Young Bucks are pretty good in the ring too. I like them. They do a little bit too much flips. They don't have the best psychology, but they're very, very good. And I wish Kenny was in WWE and see if he could be the true star that he was meant to be. Or I hope AEW passes WWE at a star level because he actually has more creative control.
From what I've seen, he reminds me of AJ Styles.
Oh yeah, they have similar moves. Seth Rollins has similar moves too. They're the same kind of guy. If they didn't have the restraints, and AJ wrestled a lot like him in New Japan. They're both a Bullet Club. Yeah, then first place.
Oh, let me guess who's number 1.
Wait, I'm not gonna say it yet. Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. Roman Reigns.
What's that? Undeniably the best years. Probably one of the best years of all time.
Since Cena's big years, at least, yeah. Since Cena's come up in The Rock.
I mean, even when Cena was there, he had people chasing him. I don't even... Especially of the people on SmackDown, there's nobody right now that I could see.
Even coming up. Braun Breaker got a chance in 3 years.
Do you think, eventually he's going to go face, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not full face, but kind of like a Stone Cold face.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where he,
I'm surprised the crowd isn't cheering for him yet, to be honest.
I think they half cheer. I think he's getting more and more cheers.
Usually when you're that good, though, you're forced to go face, you know? I guess because he's selling shirts as a heel.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's no bigger show than Roman in wrestling. I mean, that I see.
Nah, it's a whole nother level. And then Brock's right there with him. And then female-wise, I guess we should touch on the females a little bit. From an in-ring perspective, Charlotte had the best year, right?
Yeah, because Becky was out with having the baby, so.
Yeah, and then Bayley was hurt. Sasha went away to film The Mandalorian.
I mean, I guess you'd have to put in there...
Well, I almost put Britt Baker number 1. But for in-ring work, I put Charlotte right ahead of her.
Bianca, I mean, she had a big year.
Oh, Bianca did too, yeah. Bianca would probably put 3rd. So I go Charlotte. This is off the top of my head, guys. I didn't research this too, so I'm probably, if I'm missing somebody, sorry. Charlotte, Britt, Bianca were the top 3 this year. But one of the best female matches of the year was Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker at a hardcore match last year. I don't know if you saw the meme of Britt Baker's face all bloody. That was from that match too. That was awesome. That's when AEW's women finally got respect and Britt got over. Britt's probably the most over face in the whole freaking company, honestly. Maybe in wrestling, but after...
Yeah.
You gotta check some of her good stuff out too.
What's the girl who just came up on SmackDown, the Asian?
Oh, Xia Li?
Yeah, like they introduced, has she been on SmackDown? Well, I know last week they just had a...
They introduced her, like they always do, they introduced her for 6 weeks and she...
And I know she came out to save somebody a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I forget who.
But they've been using her, and then Veer on Raw. They keep playing commercials for him every week too. To come, they're redoing Veer. Like, who cares about Veer? You're already stuck with Jinder Mahal.
What happened to Mojo?
He got fired.
Mojo got fired? Oh
yeah.
Man, he was so good, Mojo Rock.
Yeah, right. He sucked dicks in hell.
He was Gronk's best friend, man. Once
Gronk quit, they're like, "Get out of here, Mojo! You're out of here." The writing was on the wall.
It was a character where he talked to himself in the mirror.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Dude, come on, man. Who came up with that?
I think he did. That's it. I can't believe John Morrison got fired. I was talking to you about it before the show. I love Morrison.
He was one. I mean, who doesn't like Johnny Drip Drip?
That's insane. Like he's the... Look at him. That guy's a fucking star.
Oh, he's chiseled. Doesn't even look real.
No. And he's like 41 or something too. Like,
that's crazy.
Damn.
I know his gimmick was some of the releases didn't
Braun Strowman.
Like, he was a couple years ago. He was the hottest thing in wrestling, and then
he was champ at WrestleMania that year, right?
Yeah, he beat
Goldberg.
Yeah, that was the COVID year.
Yeah.
But I think COVID kind of fizzled that out. But a few times he had a thing and then something, I don't know if he pissed people off or...
He had a chance to, that's another guy they missed the boat on. He could have been a big star. He could have been like a mainstream guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I always said, what do they do? Like, he would be up and then they that's what they do. Why do the guys go up and then they put him in the background after...
They start and stop pushing. But Vince, somebody must get him drunk, and he's like, all right, we'll push that guy. Then, change his mind, 2 weeks later, he's like, what the fuck did I do?
Like, one of my favorite guys, I just, for some reason, I love... They screwed him 7 Ways to
I
Sunday.
like him, but I don't think he presents himself like a wrestler. I hate that he wears like a shirt you could buy at Kmart.
That's why I like him.
Okay, he's the everyman.
He's the everyman. He's now when he was going from NXT to the Raw or whatever the main roster.
Right away.
But his character then, it was Stone Coldish. Like he was tough. He didn't back down, fight.
Oh, well,
he was a dirty player.
When he first started, though, he played up more that he was like doing this for his family, like make more money. I wish he still kept that part of his game.
Yeah, well, that's part of it. Like
you don't show it anymore.
He'll do whatever it takes to win.
Why
Sami
all the crazy
Zayn
flips and stuff.
smash Sami Zayn on the apron, like that was all good. And then once he gets, he's up, he build up, and then he goes for the title. Like, what was that title run? They totally ruined him. Like he would run from the ring every time. What is that?
You mean when he had the world title?
When he had the Universal title,
Jericho beat him for it. Excuse me, Jericho had the U.S. title. Remember they took it off him. They gave it to Goldberg, right? And then they gave him the U.S.
it was
belt,
like a nothing. Like okay.
Yeah.
There's Goldberg, go take it.
Goldberg's ruined up as many.
He's not working as champion. No, duh, he's not working as champion because you're
not making a show.
Be a pussy.
Yep.
He's running away.
A couple of Seth Rollins' early title reigns too. He was like a pussy too. They were like getting good storylines.
And I know that's like a heel thing, but
AEW's doing it accidentally right now too. Hangman Page has no storyline really right now too. It's pretty bad.
Well, he had the Jericho and thing. That stuff was funny, but I just feel like they ruined something with that character he came in with.
Hold on a second. What'd you say? What'd you say, Jim? You just made the list. That was that feud. Yeah. That was awesome. That was a great feud.
Speaking, I was thinking about that.
They deserve the world
title. Jericho needs to be considered as one of the best of all time, right?
Yeah.
Now, you know what I was thinking of?
Real quick, who's your Mount Rushmore?
Oh, Stone Cold, The Rock, Hulk Hogan, and Flair.
Think about a top 10.
But I think Jericho is
top 25.
Probably lower. Just thinking some of the stuff he did, like remember Nitro, the
the
1,000 moves, and he sat there and read 1,000 moves, and it went to commercial, it came back, and he still. That was like, gee, that was great.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Not the best of all time, but I think you would like John Moxley a lot in AEW. He was close to my top 10. He was probably like.
You mean
a Kevin Owens, Stone Cold-esque type gimmick over there now too.
Wasn't he get suspended? Didn't he get suspended or something?
Nah, he went to rehab for alcohol by choice. He didn't get in trouble or didn't get in trouble with the law or anything like that. Oh, we didn't talk about any tag teams. What besides RK Bro? Usos, New Day.
That's another thing with tag teams. They really ignore the tag team division. They get like a hot tag team and then just
kill them.
Because think about it back in Ruthless Aggression with Edge and Christian.
Hardy Boys.
Dudley. Like
Grandmaster Sexay.
They had all kinds of awesome tag. Like they always had awesome
APA.
tag teams.
Yeah. New Age Outlaws.
And then they kind of just like, even with the women, how like they build it up and then all of a sudden, like they have 2 or 3 girls that they highlight.
Dude, it's
at a time, and then the rest of the girls are.
It's because they don't have they don't have characters. Somebody just wins for 3 months, then you lose for 6 months. Win for 3 months, lose. If you have the belt, if for some reason they think you're allowed to lose that, it doesn't bring you down. It brings you down. It's like ingrained in their head that you're not good, even if you're losing as champion. I don't get why they don't understand that.
But you're right. I think that's part of the problem is these people don't have characters. Like, if you can't define someone's character...
I love Seth right now, but what's his character? Jimmy T asked me that the other night.
What's his character?
Yeah.
I don't know. A jackal?
I said he's like a Miami like Coke dealer, but he's not allowed to say it, so it's like the PG-13.
Do you think his... did you like his Messiah?
I loved his Messiah gimmick. Everyone else hated it. I freaking loved it. I had a Messiah shirt. I had a Monday Night Messiah
shirt. I thought there was like it was building... Like with the, what were those 2 guys?
The AOP.
NXT when they first came up. I was big fans.
Yeah, I think when they got
And then
they got hurt, and then I think
and
they
that
just
kind of ruined it.
yeah, I think it ruined.
But I
it.
thought that was the start. Like, I was getting excited. Like, this could be a good.
They even made Buddy Murphy cool too as his disciple too. It was awesome. And I'm talking about the Texans.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's nothing really much to talk about.
All right, so let's do our predictions on who we think is going to be the male and female wrestlers of the year, and who we got our watches on for this year. And for AEW too, like just you being a casual fan, like tell me about your top. Name me like 10 people off of AEW that you can think of off the top of your head, just being a casual fan.
Darby Allin, Daniel Bryanson. What's that?
Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, MJF. Who the hell's the guy that puts his hands in his pockets?
Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy.
Which I don't get, the hands in the pocket. Like, that's a gimmick.
Yeah, it's kind of like
dude, you're fighting with your hands in your pockets. It'll knock you out.
I hated it at first too, but it grew on me. It's to me. I know the internet loves him, and they think.
Or is it like him baiting someone? Like, I'll kick your ass even with my hands in my pocket.
No, it's.
Or it's just like him being cool.
Yeah, it's just him being cool. But to me, he's like a better wrestling version of like Santino Marella, a joke character. But the internet's gonna yell at me for that. But that's in my opinion. I like him. I can see him getting like the TNT title, which is the equivalent of their.
Yeah, doesn't
Cody's got it right now.
What happened to Rusev?
He lost the belt to Sammy Guevara. Sammy just lost to Cody, and
What's
Rusev's
his name
just
in there?
Mira. That's his real name, Miroslav.
Is he still married to?
Yeah, Lana.
So that whole would you let Lana do that stuff with that?
Absolutely not.
Like, I guess she made her own choice, but at the time, like, maybe they're really, maybe that's why they had to make it look.
Rusev's contract was running up, and he wanted to show that I'm a team player and I want to re-sign. And then, I guess then once he didn't re-sign, they kind of punished him, I think. And you kind of have to go along with it. And Lana re-signed, and then they end up firing her later, which how messed up is that?
Speaking of, I thought, well, I don't know how many guys I mean.
I was just curious who was mainstream. I know the internet.
Yeah, MJF,
mainstream.
you know, of course.
How many tag teams over there? Do you know?
Yeah, Young Bucks,
Mm-hmm.
and then the two guys from NXT. Adam Cole.
Oh yeah, the Undisputed Era is awesome. Red Dragon, Adam Cole was amazing. A little too small for WWE, but I think he still could have gotten over
them. And then the champions are the El Luchador, or what is there?
Lucha Brothers.
Lucha Brothers. Yeah.
Okay, then don't FTR. Remember them? Dax and
yes.
The Revival. They're over there too. They're pretty
Revival. Good. Yeah.
Cool. So then, with 2022, who do you think is going to be? Who's your watch on? Who's your eyes on?
For male?
Yeah.
Well, MJF, from everything I'm hearing and what I've seen. I mean, Roman, if we're going for somebody new and not including Roman, somebody I could see as of right now, maybe Seth Rollins, depending on what they do with him.
I'd be for them, Seth and Roman feud again, honestly. I wouldn't have Seth beat him.
I was thinking they should have left Seth on SmackDown.
Yeah. He probably wants to stay with his wife, though. Becky. He's married to Becky.
They could have left Becky on SmackDown, too. But I think maybe they should just combine it back, because of if they're going to not write for everybody, then the people you do write for, just make it one show.
I want AEW to do two different. I want them to have a brand extension. I want them to.
How many shows do they have? I hear. What is there? Dynamite,
Rampage,
and then there's what's the Dark?
That's just on YouTube. It's like it's like the stuff that how they film like an hour before Raw. They put that.
I did see.
Yeah, guys that shouldn't be on TV yet.
Guy on. I was watching. I don't know if it was. What night is Friday? Do they have a show on Friday?
Yeah, well, the Friday show is just to film the same night as Dynamite too. They just pretend.
How does that do against SmackDown?
Oh, it's right after SmackDown. So if
Oh,
you watch
it's
SmackDown,
after.
I'll just change the channel. I thought that was genius marketing, but it didn't get keep the followers like I thought it would.
But
It's on TBS.
I
or
saw a
TNT,
guy. I
for
guess it
Switch.
was on Big Guy. Is it Warlow?
That's MJF's manager. He's
Oh, he's a
awesome.
manager, but he's
Well,
huge.
he wrestles. He's MJF's bodyguard.
Okay.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He looked pretty
Yeah, that's
cool.
the one I said earlier. You'll absolutely love him. I think.
He's like on an unbeaten streak or something, right?
Yeah,
I know he's just
he wins
wrestling.
quick too. He's like one of the few guys that they actually push the right way. He wins quick matches. He's not doing 20-minute matches, exposing himself.
Like when they first went to 2 hours. I mean, they probably could have done 3 hours, and you would have glued your eyes
Yeah,
to it. Because the
absolutely.
story, there were so many stories. It felt like every guy had a storyline almost.
That's one thing Vince Russo was good at that he doesn't get credit for. He wrote stories for the mid card and the lower card too. He wrote for everybody. He did need Vince there to shoot down whatever his bad stuff.
He goes
is.
a little too far.
Yeah,
But
but I miss that, having stories for everybody instead of just rematch.
and then the
Tag
guy.
up with somebody, you get pinned. Rematch.
But there's not, like, the writers right now just, I guess they focus on one guy or one thing. They can't do it for everybody.
Maybe because they're afraid people get fired so much too. Like if you're going to invest your time writing a story for this guy and Vince either shoots it down or like he fires him, you're like, that was the last 6 months of my life trying to come up with this stuff. And
Did you know Freddie Prinze Jr.?
yeah, supposedly he was one of the better ones too because he taught him like how to act a little bit, supposedly. And he's not the best actor.
If I
but he's
heard that,
trained.
I'm like, oh my god, he must have just had a lifelong like fan or something, and he got into the bit. Because that's after he was.
Well, like
Like
the
a star.
difference between AEW and WWE is WWE literally calls himself entertainment. So Freddie Prinze Jr. was really good promos, probably. And AEW considers himself wrestling. That's also another reason why they have the 20-minute matches every single time. Because they're a wrestling company and WWE's an entertainment company first. Then entertain us, assholes. Give us some stories. You think you'd have good stories. You only do it for Roman Reigns. Stories for everybody. You can find fan fiction online stories, for people.
I know it can't be that difficult. I
Wow.
know.
Bobby Roode should still be your corporate guy. They can be like a great intercontinental champion. He only wants businesses. Like everyone hates that. He's big of a fan of Elon Musk and all them guys, and that's all he talks about. Or having new guys steal that gimmick. It's easy.
Yeah, it's just.
EC3's the top 1% in the world. It's easy. How do you mess that up? And he looks like it too. He actually looks like he could go toe to toe with Roman Reigns. Idiots.
It's crazy to me how, like, I don't know if it's Vince or.
I guess all the guys
He
that run
just-
the company are the
he
same
just
guys since we were
poo-poos.
kids. They're like
Well,
7-year-old
Bruce-
men.
Bruce Pritchett's back running stuff and
Yep.
Michael T. Hayes.
Brucey. Bruce Pritchard, you listen to his podcast, Something to Wrestle With?
I have listened to a few episodes.
I love it. And Eric Bischoff's too.
They
these
talk
guys.
about like things that happen.
Yeah, inside baseball stuff. Cool. I think we've been going pretty long. You got anything you want to plug your names and stuff? Really good where to follow you at and.
On Twitter, I'm at Jim Prendy54. Instagram, I'm Jimmy Prendergast Jr. So hope you guys enjoyed our first episode here. It was fun. Me and Kev haven't gotten together in a long time, so it was nice getting back and talking.
Cool. Yeah, like I said, we're going to do at least one of these a month, talking about different stuff, not just recapping all the shows, which we will recap the big shows, especially Raw and WrestleMania. So keep them on your schedule, those two.
And I think we're going to do a special Royal Rumble.
That's what I meant to say when I said Raw. My bad. Yeah, fuck Raw. Royal Rumble. I definitely got to get you to watch a Dynamite pay-per-view, or excuse me, an AEW.
Yeah,
pay-per-view.
I'll start watching them.
They're only 4 a year. When there's a good card, I'll try to get you over for that. And yeah, so like we're gonna keep this at least once a month. We're also doing our promo off too. So at the end, like we're gonna post 2 promos up like more to see who our champion is. So he keeps the belt for a month. See who has the longest reigns. And
knock someone out with this belt. It's heavy.
yeah, it's pretty heavy. Shout out to Brody Lee here too, the TNT belt.
Just show them our HWF.
Yeah, we
Belt
couldn't
was
afford
guy.
belts back then in '98ish. So this dude from where we work, Todd here West, made belts and like spray painted them and stuff. Eventually, we're gonna actually make. That's why we're doing the promo thing too. We're actually gonna make a real belt for the Dollar Club Wrestling World Champion, and whoever wins we'll have prediction shows too for like the Rumble, and whoever wins that would get the belt and keep it for like a month and stuff like that. I hope you guys are entertained at all. If you guys have any topics you want to talk about too,
Go Birds!
Eagles fans here too. And you can follow me at Panetta Sexy Time. My fitness page is at Panetta Sexy Time Fitness. And obviously we're Dollar Club Wrestling.
Cowboy sock.
Too sweet me. Too sweet. Peace out, homies.